What's up, beautiful people? It's your boy Joshua Martin. Today I'm going to show you a quick review of the new Tilta follow focus and matte box. Let's jump right into it. Yes, I was one of the ones who pre-ordered both of them when they announced it. I thought it was really interesting, and I was looking for something that was a little bit smaller so I could fit it on a rig like this. This is the X1H with the SmallRig 25. Perfect little combo. I love how compact this is. But let's get into a little bit of the details of the follow focus and the matte box. So the build quality of the follow focus, it's really light, but there is a mix of plastic and metal. So here, the arm here is metal, but the body here is plastic. Of course, you have your metal stoppers here. But all of this is plastic here. This does have a nice rubber grip. I really appreciate that. And of course, a knob, I don't know exactly what this is called, but this can be for a follow whip or a pulley. Now, another option on the market is the Edelchrome Focus 1. Now, this is the first version, I believe, because I looked on it online recently and they have a pro version of this. It looks the same, but I think the difference is in the gear and how it works. But this is a completely solid piece of metal, very smooth focus ring, really no real tension. I noticed this one's a little bit harder to turn because it is a little bit smaller. So as you can see, here's the knob of the Edelchrome and here's the Tilta. It is significantly bigger than the other. Both of them feature, a one rod system that clamps on. I've had more slippage on this one. Sometimes you have to really tighten this down so it won't slip as you're using it, and it tends to pull away from the lens system. That's been my experience with this one. But this is a little knob here you can kind of loosen and you can kind of control up and down. The Tilta has a more, I guess a more friendly way of attaching itself. It can go straight, it can go almost 90 degrees, which is really nice for certain lenses. I just wish this can be a little bit bigger, especially I have a bigger hand. So I do like this little hinge mechanism versus this way of pivoting that they have. I didn't even notice this when I got it out. I couldn't figure out how to tighten this. If you just look at the bottom here, this little lever tightens this 90-degree rotation here, and that locks in. And then of course you tighten the rod here, there, here, there as well. And just for kicks, this is my other follow focus, a little more robust. Having two rod mounts on this thing is a lot more secure, less slippage, obviously. This is a very old one. This is from Rocket Micro. I don't remember how much I paid for this, but this is a really solid follow focus system. I do want to invest in some other ones, like an Orange Tangerine or Tilta, one of their two-prong ones, but anything for like a system like this, small system like the Pocket or the X-H1, I'll definitely throw on one of these. And I'll show you what that looks like real quick. So one of the problems already with the Edelchrome and its design, so you can see I already have the SmallRig 25mm and the X-H1. It's a very large diameter here, it's 85 I believe. And since this doesn't pivot, it's a straight piece of metal. Once you slide it on, try to get a line, it bumps right into the lens, so the gears can't hinge on, snap on, there you go. So I really can't use this follow focus on a small system like this. It's kind of a downfall. It needs a little more clearance here, but this is why I was interested in this guy. It's a lot more smaller. Let me unloosen that. You can fit right on here and get nice and snugged. Obviously I need to lock it in, but now moving on to the matte box. While it's inside, you can see the matte box will sit here. Again, another adapter for the rod adapter and the rod itself. And then you have your 67 mil, 72 mil, 77, and 82. But some of the things I noticed about it, like I said, it's really small. The build quality is not all metal, just the front part is a sheet metal or some sort of metal. The clamp is metal, the top part with the 3/8 and the 1/4 20s is metal with the code shoots. But the actual body of the mount is like it's a plastic of some sort. That got me, it has some flex, you can kind of push in. My concern with it is the durability in long run, if you're gonna be using this as your main matte box. If you look up here, it has the lever. If you go all the way, it actually detaches the front French flag. But if you go like slightly, you can loosen up the tension to kind of open it up. If you try to close it as it's already on its tightest, it won't close completely. You have to loosen it a little bit so it can lay flat. And I've seen this with a lot of the products, people's photos that are out on the internet. It doesn't close completely on one side. Let me show you how I attach it to my lens. You have an 82 thread here, 82 thread clamp. Screw this on, screw this on, and then the matte box. Now, this little pin in the back here, it's a little tricky. Like, it's the locking for this, but it's really shallow. You can't really tell. You have to kind of move your hand across it to feel how shallow it is to make sure it's not in its locking position. And then it goes in like so. See what I mean? There you go. It's loosened. That's the thing, like sometimes. I'm gonna just let this roll because it is kind of interesting to put this on. Come on, there it is. Okay, so now it's on. It's straight. Let's put this down. Make sure it's straight, and then you just tighten it. That's what it looks like. It looks really good on these smaller bodies, these smaller lenses. Obviously, you don't put this on like a 14 mil front because they can't fit on it, obviously. But for what it's worth, it will get the job done. Yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I was able to answer some of you guys' questions about the matte box and the follow focus. Feel free if you have any more, just put them down. These products are pretty straightforward. Like I said, the build quality is fairly decent. They are made out of plastic and you might run into some durability issues, but for what it's worth, for what the price are and what's on the market, these are very compelling. So definitely check those out. I'll leave some links in the description below. And until then, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.